Welcome back to the historical Japanese streets of Kyoto. The idea here isn't just a Japanese modular building, but a layered, lived-in building that blends public and private life. Down below, you've got a working restaurant where chefs are preparing sushi and other food right in front of the guests. When closed for the evening, the families enjoy a cozy home upstairs filled with Japanese-inspired art and living spaces. With the designer pulling from real-world Japanese architecture, cultural objects, and even manga-inspired references to create something that feels authentic without being tied to one specific real location. It's not meant to represent a famous landmark, but rather feel like a place you'd stumble across while wandering a side street one busy evening. That is the lore and inspiration of the set by the designer Brick Project. The set comes in at 3,604 pieces, as well as 20 stickers. You get 14 minifigures, and it immediately pushes it beyond a static display and into something that feels populated and alive. This isn't one of those buildings where you have two people inside and a couple on the out, and everything else feels empty, like some of the recent modulars. Between the restaurant staff, owners, customers, and surrounding street activity, it genuinely feels like a slice of city life, with every small piece working at bringing that to fruition. From the outside, this build is doing a ton of subtle work. The restaurant itself is the centerpiece, but it's surrounded by just enough street-level detail to make it feel very dense and alive. You've got a vintage Japanese tram running alongside the building with two rail modules, which instantly gives the whole scene movement and direction. It immediately feels like a very active street corner. The designer also pointed out this tram can be fairly easily motorized with a few extra pieces. The modularity is one of the most standout features here, which is the first time we've seen something like it since Fort Legoredo. The set can be divided into 4 different layouts: a compact building, a corner diorama, a long skyline display that's made to be shelf-friendly, or an immersive street layout that almost works like a book nook. That flexibility is huge, especially for collectors who don't have the same display space, and even adds to the overall displayability of the set, giving you the ability to change how the set looks every now and then, keeping it fresh. Outside details like the food stall, Japanese garden, bamboo koi pond, pergola, sakura trees, lanterns, and even a vending machine all help sell the atmosphere. It feels dense without feeling too cluttered, which is honestly hard to pull off at this scale. I also really like that nothing here feels exaggerated. The colors are in calm and warm tones, and it leans much more toward realism than stylization, which fits the subject perfectly. Just looking at the railing up the stairs and along the upper floor is so uniquely designed. This set is one that you can just continue to stare at and keep picking up small little details. Once you start opening the building up though, that's where the set really shines. The ground floor is the sushi restaurant itself, complete with an entry area, main kitchen, preparation room, chef's counter, storage space, and even a line of orders waiting to be prepared. I can't help but think of all the ingenuity that went into this set, bringing me callbacks to the lionized castle, just based on the fact that when splitting the build apart, the two halves function so perfect on their own, but using your mind's eye can imagine how the interior looks, like going around the corner and up the stairs to the second floor, all while having room to sit at the bar and having the small back room where the chefs are working, and all be accessible. Of course, the second room shifts tones completely though. Up here, you've got a tea room with utensils, seating, 2 balconies, and a flower arrangement. It's quieter, that's more intentional, and it creates a really nice contrast with the busy energy of the restaurant below. And again, you can imagine how the upstairs looks when it's closed, like a spacious living area, aside from the only thing missing in my mind is the railing that would be blocking the stairs when the set is completely closed together. But like I said, it's something you'll never notice because the set would be closed at that point. The third floor is where the building becomes a bit more personal. This is the bedroom featuring a bonsai tree, futon, and bathroom, storage furniture, and small details that make it feel so lived in. And the most important thing of all is the fact that there is even a little ladder in the corner to get to this top floor, which I always appreciate so much for minifigures to have actual accessibility to the different features of a set. Access-wise, the design is smart. You've got openable walls, sliding doors, removable sections, and the entire structure can be broken apart for easy access. It's playable without sacrificing how it looks on display, which is always the balance that you want. The minifigure lineup here is also done in a unique way. Instead of just typical figures, the designer gave each their own name and individual jobs in and around the set itself. You've got the owners, who are Sato and Fumiko, chefs Akira and Naomi, the yate owner, Takumi, the tram operator, Hirayama, the crossing guard, Natsuki, and a wide mix of customers with actual names and personalities attached to them. There's even a baby figure included as well. On top of that, you get a ton of animals. 4 cats, printed koi tiles, a red-crowned crane, birds, 2 fish, a crab and a mouse, and even a ladybug. It does sound like a lot, but it does fit naturally into the environment. With every figure having a reason to exist in the scene, it really helps sell the whole world this set is trying to build. And I just love that in LEGO sets, getting more than just the build itself, but getting a small little slice of a story and lore playing out. When you compare this to traditional LEGO modular buildings, it's very clearly doing something different. This isn't trying to compete with things like Assembly Square or the Downtown Diner. Those sets are about scale and uniformity. This one is about atmosphere and flexibility. It's closer in spirit to sets like the Ninjago City or some of the more detailed ideas buildings, but on a more intimate level. The multiple display configurations alone put it in a different category. Whether you want a compact footprint or a skyline shelf piece or an immersive street scene, this set adapts instead of forcing you to adapt to it. If I had to say what this set feels like to me the most, it would be the display ability of what Fort Laredo accomplished all those years ago, with the interior level integrity that the Lion Knights Castle accomplished not too long ago. I could definitely see this set fitting in very well with Ninjago mocks and scenes playing out around it. At $279 for 3,600 pieces, you're sitting at roughly 7.5 cents per piece, which is actually very solid, especially considering this isn't licensed IP and includes a large minifigure count with the possibility of a motorized train with a few pieces. That said, this is very clearly an adult-focused set. This isn't something you would grab for a kid's birthday. It's priced and designed for collectors who appreciate architecture, cultural detail, and display versatility. For what you're getting, the size, the density, the modular layouts, and the atmosphere, I think the price here is very justifiable when checking so many of the boxes I personally look for in a LEGO set. The Sushi Restaurant is one of those sets that feels calm in the best way possible. It's not trying to impress you with its size alone. It's not loud or flashy with bright, extravagant colors. Instead, it leans into detail, cultural respect, and thoughtful design choices. The result is a build that feels authentic, flexible, and genuinely enjoyable to explore. Personally, I really appreciate how adaptable it is. Whether you're tight on space or building out a larger city scene, this set can fit without dominating everything around it and still look so unique. And also, just to point out, the Restaurants of the World GWP will be releasing soon on the LEGO website, which I can't help but feel was coordinated perfectly to go alongside this set, making it a perfect add-on to the Sushi Restaurant if you so happen to pick it up. If you're into architectural builds, city life displays, or just want something that feels different from the usual LEGO lineup, this is absolutely worth a serious look, and definitely something I don't see being made again anytime soon. Anyways, that's going to do it for today, and I'll see you in the next video.